Hello and welcome to Aging Matters. This is a show that is provided by and sponsored by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. My name is Ann Barlet. I'm Public Advocacy and Outreach Manager for the agency. We have a jam-packed show today, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest, David Shallcross, and he is the Director of Senior Protection with the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General. So thank you, Dave, for being here today. You come a distance and provide so much wonderful, important information, particularly as it relates to seniors. And our topic, I'm going to move right in. Our topic is new age scams and schemes against seniors. And that seems to be, we could be talking for days probably about this topic and title, because just when we think we have a handle on a few, more pop up. And new ways of doing things that the scammers are coming up with. So without further ado, let's talk about some of the, I'm going to have some slides here that I will work for us. And so let's move into, we've heard a lot, obviously, about the scams that attack seniors. And it's not just limited, but we're going to focus on that today. Where are we now and where are we headed to the future? And I think we're going to go down a slide or two here. So where we'll be heading into the first slide up is, as you can see, the title is the computer and smartphone scams. You know, we're all using electronics. We're all using our phones for everything today. We had to use it to park at a meter. We can order tickets, you know, for concerts, and that's where the ticket is. So, Dave, let's start with that one. You know, what do we have here in terms of this type of scam?
Well, and it's interesting you say, where are we going in the future? Well, unfortunately, the future is now. We're in it. And these new tech scams are starting to crop up more frequently than ever before. And I think, just like you said, we are all in an electronic digital world. We're now using our smartphones to park at parking meters and pay. Our refrigerators talk back to us and tell us what to shop for. Yes. You know, our assistants, our digital assistants giving you a recipe. We're in the digital world. It's today. And, you know, with smartphones, the scams that we need to look out for, again, are, you know, different things such as the tech repair scams on your phone or on your laptop or home computer. You may get that by a pop-up right on the screen, okay, indicating click here and allow us to then correct the problem. Or, not so high-tech, maybe a phone call related to that technology problem. Your computer is infected with a virus. Okay. It's been compromised somehow. Follow my instructions and we will correct those problems, because this is Microsoft. This is Norton Antivirus. It's McAfee. They'll use one of those big names to get you to then proceed with their instruction. You know, and you know, it's not just the computer. It's things that we do every day now that are being manipulated. I'm sure that you've received some packages at your front door in the last couple of years.
Yes, I have.
You know, during COVID, I think a lot of us became online shoppers, yes, whether we normally do that or not. And now we're going to get delivery messaging by email, by text. And it's going to say, perhaps it was undeliverable. Your package was undeliverable. Please click here to reschedule, or click the second link to cancel or deny if you didn't order a package. And you might be sitting home and say, oh my gosh, I don't have a package. Yeah. Do not click anything. Both of those options are going to load the spyware into that computer, that smartphone, that device. So they're tricking us in every angle with everything that's tech.
Okay. And so my question is, if that occurs, what do I do?
Great.
I mean, besides nothing on that particular thing. But
the first thing you do is delete and step away from it. Okay. Do not touch it. Don't click on anything. Second is very easy. If it's your computer that needs repair, you can go to a bona fide certified repair area, like in one of the large electronic stores, or maybe back where you purchased your equipment, and ask them to scan the equipment. It might cost you $15, $20, but you're not losing hundreds of dollars or valuable information. Okay. The delivery message or any other, you have a coupon. Here's a $50 gift card to Kohl's, Target, CVS for being a great customer. Don't click on that either. Okay. It sounds too good to be true, it is. So what you want to do is go back to your original order. If you did order an item,
exactly.
just go in your email to the original confirmation message that's valid from the actual vendor.
Okay.
And that will give you instruction. Otherwise, go to your monthly statement and get that trusted customer service number and call to inquire. Just don't trust the messaging that's new coming in.
So I can go back and find out. So I have to know where I got it to call them, say, verifying.
Right. So
Okay.
if you're expecting a package from eBay,
Right.
Amazon, Walmart.com, you'll know that you ordered something.
Okay.
And usually you're excited waiting for the item to come, right?
Yes.
Maybe not so exciting if you ordered like toilet paper and things, but if you have a goodie for yourself, you're going to be aware that it's coming. And if you do not have a package coming, do not be tempted to click to cancel. Just like when you get a phone call that says push 2 to get off the list, don't push buttons.
Okay.
That proves that you're a live person and you're willing to do what you're asked.
I see.
So we don't want to click anything.
Oh, they're tricky, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's the key.
The trick is do not click.
Do not click. The trick, don't click. All right, let's go to the next one because this was interesting to me when you titled this Private Space Industry. It sounds so, new age. So tell me about this one. What's
Well,
this?
our favorite Star Trek captain, Captain Kirk, went to space at 90 years of
Yes,
age.
he did.
And it was real. He really got to travel to space on one of these private space industry projects. And you'll see it on the news. It's featured on the Discovery Channel, the Science Channel, many shows about the new space industry. And NASA's already contracted with some of these independent private space contractors. So it's a real thing. The question is the person offering you an opportunity to invest and make millions, is that person real? Are they actually connected to that industry in some way? Are they licensed by Securities Exchange Commission to offer you an investment opportunity or a stock? So that's where the question is. Not is space travel going to be a private industry? It is, folks. It really is. And again, verify before you comply. Know if that person's actually involved, if they are licensed and certified to offer you that opportunity. And you might be told you could be the next one to fly. You could be on
or
that
for a
trip.
small deposit of something.
Yeah, well, it's like a $450,000 ticket. I'm not going any day soon. But somebody might say, well, it's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. And then your money's gone and there is no ticket. Just like a concert ticket to Taylor Swift.
Yes, I saw
If you didn't
that.
buy it from a legitimate vendor, you're not going to the show, right?
Okay.
Same thing with the space industry travel opportunity. Be very, very careful. If it's exciting and new and it's tech, you may not know where to verify this information, and that makes it more difficult to navigate.
And as you alluded to, again, it's exciting. So they're going to say, and you have been chosen, or and you are building into that scheme.
Absolutely.
Okay. All righty. So our next one, I've read things and heard about this cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and whatnot, but I think that that's still a somewhat vague concept, item. Could you tell us a little bit about that? Because I'm understanding that that's also a concern that we need to be aware of on this type of scam.
Yes, and it really is. And we're getting more and more complaints of people being disillusioned over what they thought was going to be a great investment opportunity or a total ripoff from ground zero. The cryptocurrency digital assets are unsupervised, unregulated, not recorded in a lot of cases, depending on the programming. So in a nutshell, to explain to our viewers the best way we can, cryptocurrency, there is no physical coin or currency. It's like magic credit in the cyberspace. You get a what they call a wallet, which is really a series of numbers. Oh. And imagine it's a virtual deposit box. So your wallet's where you're going to put that coin when you get the coin. The coin is a series of numbers and characters. So there's nothing physical. So they're going to tell you have this much money to put in that wallet, and that's yours. Now the key is how you open your wallet to get your coins in and out. And that's another series of numbers like a password. If you lose your wallet, you lose your money. If you lose the key, you can't open the wallet, you've lost your money. And if you're buying it from a scammer, there is no money to lose. Or maybe the scammer is giving you his wallet, IDing it as yours, and you're just feeding him money or her, right? So, and you have no way to get it back. There's no way to
There's
really
no protections,
file
right?
a complaint. No.
Right.
There is some operations that are based here in the U.S., and those are called exchanges. So imagine like the bank where you're going
Okay.
to change francs to dollars or pound in England to dollars. So there's exchanges. If they're certified exchanges, there is a tracking and a record of what transactions went on. But if it's in another country or it's uncertified, there is no record and there's no one to complain to. And sometimes we can do peer-to-peer, like on these cash apps, where I could just send you Bitcoin and you can send it back. And the newest thing is the Bitcoin ATM. Imagine going into the grocery store, a gas station, and there's an ATM, but it says cryptocurrency Bitcoin, and you're going to put $5,000 in this machine and get a series of numbers back, and that's your money.
No. I know, I'm not there yet.
Two things never buy at a gas station. Sushi and Bitcoin, right? Doesn't feel right.
Yes,
It
no.
doesn't feel right.
No, I need it in my hot little hand to know this is the amount of money I have.
And then you know you have it.
Yes.
So my basic point, I think, to our viewers is very simple. If you don't have 120% full understanding of the risk and the fact that there's no one to complain to and your chances of getting any money back if it does go bad is nil, don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you really are well-versed and educated in crypto, and there's a good, legitimate use of crypto.
Okay.
You know, international businesses use it. They can exchange money, easily without those additional fees. So it does have a valid purpose, but it's often used by criminals because it's hard to track who has it, how much they have, where they spent it, and it's easy to disperse and like kind of launder money. So it has a lot of that criminal element behind it.
And again, another thing to think about, it sounds too good to be true in terms of, hey, it sounds like free money. There's nothing there, so oh sure, let's get some Bitcoins and we'll play almost like a game.
Almost,
and it's not, you're losing money.
It's real world
so,
money.
Yeah.
And they tell you the Bitcoin today might be worth $26,000 per unit. So a coin, Bitcoin, 26,000, say, that was about 2 weeks ago. Tomorrow it could triple, and you really could make great money. But it could also bottom out tomorrow and be zero. Are you willing to take the risk? Can you afford that kind of risk? All investments have risk.
Yes.
But this is very difficult to predict the risk.
Okay, good. So that you really need to understand it thoroughly, know what you're doing, and focus on it, and be careful of those bits and pieces that are really more scam oriented. All righty, so this one next is a little bit kind of staying with the finance information and banking and credit. So again, we fall prey to imposters, how they work with us, I guess, to gain trust, get our personal information, our financial account, just by a rapport or whatever. So could you talk a little bit about this particular imposter scam?
Yes, and again, imposter is exactly what it sounds like. It's not the bank on the phone or on your email or your text message. It's not the credit card services contacting you. And again, technology, it could be on our smartphone, it could be on your home phone, it could be by text or email easily. And it's something to alarm you. They always want to get your attention. So they may say, your account has been compromised. What are you talking about, right? Well, at the bank, and they'll have the name of your bank perhaps, at the bank we've detected this problem and it's ongoing. We have a large investigation. You're not the only potential victim. So what we've done, we've set up a way to protect you. We're going to have you transfer your funds to a secured account, and our bank will then protect that account and it won't be hacked. So do not tell anyone in the bank why you're doing this, because we think a bank employee may be involved, and you go, oh my goodness, well, we have it under investigation, but we're going to protect your account right now. They give you a series of account numbers and information. You go into the branch and you say, I'd like to transfer my funds to this account. Maybe the teller may ask and inquire, why are you doing that? And you've been a banker with our bank for many years. And you go, well, I just, time for a change. I decided I need to move it just to be safe. Okay, we'll help you do that. And they help you all right. Could go to a foreign account.
Wow.
I had a victim just a few weeks ago call me and said he thought it was his bank on the phone. They identified as his bank, and he goes, I don't usually pick up the phone to people I don't know, but I saw on the caller ID my bank, so I picked it up. And he went to the branch and transferred $88,000 to Hong Kong unknowingly. he thought it was staying in
Yep.
his bank's
Yep.
network.
Yep.
It did not. That money's gone forever. And they could also call and just be the credit card service. This is Visa, MasterCard, whatever you might have. And you know, the scammers, Ann, are going to pick one of the large brands
Sure.
because there's more potential victims.
For me, and for those of us to have it, exactly,
Right.
making us the victims.
You know, I mean,
Yep.
I'm sure 90% of the population has a Visa branded or
Yep.
MasterCard branded card in their wallet.
Yep.
You know, and they're going to hit that with that terminology of this is Visa customer service. Did you make a purchase today for $4,000 at an electronics store? You're going to be like, no, what are you talking about? Oh my gosh, I can't pay that. All right, well, we flagged it, and we're going to take that off your account, but we just need the 3-digit security code on the back, or we need to verify your account number or other personal financial information. That's a scam every
Okay.
time. You know, the customer service number, again, is on the back of every credit card, and it's on every bank statement every month, right? So if
Right.
you're not feeling comfortable, it's unusual to be contacted by them at that time with that kind of an inquiry, simply hang up, get the customer service line, and verify.
And you know, and I'm going to stay with that a second. Years ago, I was traveling out of the country with a relative, and she got phone calls, and it was legit. And that's how they use a legitimate kind of thing, where you purchased this amount of money at this place, which is unusual. You know, is that legitimate? So, say they took a legitimate type of call and made it a scam.
Absolutely,
You know.
and that's why the scams are successful, Ann, because if your credit card service calls you, like I was out of state visiting my son in Arizona one time, and I got the call too. But the call that's real will never ask for account numbers, PIN numbers, passwords, any personal and
Okay,
financial
right.
information. The real call from credit card will just be, are you out of state? Are you in Arizona? Did you make these purchases? Then we'll keep your account open. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, good. So again, don't panic, I think.
Exactly.
Think, and then in these cases, verify by calling the place that you think called you. And
The true customer service number. And you know, the government impersonators, same kind of thing. But now instead of being your financial institution, they're going to say they're a government office. They might say it's the Berks County Courthouse that you missed jury duty this
Yes.
morning, right? And a $200 fine, and we'll put you on the list again. That's not how it's done, right? You know, don't panic because it's the
Right.
police, right?
Yes.
This is the police. it's
Yes,
the
we're gonna pick you up.
FBI. Oh my gosh, we've had people impersonate
Yep.
the Office of Attorney General on these calls,
Oh, wow.
and you know, the FBI, any agency. So again, you know, if it's sounds like it's a government office, they're not going to ask you for identifying information, right? Social Security office is not going to call you for your Social Security number. They have it. They issued it.
They have it.
Right? They know it. Medicare.
Yes.
Only time you
Yep.
give out your Medicare information is if you're getting Medicare approved services. There's no other reason to provide that information, especially by phone or digital communication, email, text message, that kind of thing.
Good. I don't know if do we want to hit gift cards
Yeah, we can
real quick?
give a
If
little
there's
bit
a
brief
little issue
talk
on
about
gift
that.
cards now?
Well,
now
you
we
know,
can't even give a gift card.
I know, right? I'll tell you. I was in a meeting with a U.S. Postal Inspector recently, and he told me that these are on the rise, gift card scams and fraud. You know, so again, it seems to be a convenient way to make a payment or give a gift, and that's great. But the Postal Inspector says, please don't mail these to people. You're better off doing the digital gift card and emailing it to someone than you are putting it in the mailbox today.
Okay.
Same with checks and other currency. Do not mail any financial documents like that, you know, that are transferable as cash. He said that mail theft is on the rise, so we want to
Wow.
be careful about that. And the scammers, if you're being directed to actually make that payment,
And
in
I'll
a
go to
gift
the
card
next
or
slide
a
because I think
wire.
that's what you're talking about,
Exactly.
right? Okay.
So that is a red flag that it may be a scam, because scammers, they don't want to get caught. So they don't want to have to go cash a check. They much rather get a gift card where they don't even physically need the card. All they need is the coding and the numbers on the back. And they can then electronically withdraw those funds and empty the gift card.
Okay.
And,
I
you
don't know how these people think about it.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All of these different schemes to
And, you
throw
know,
us right off.
Wire transfers are
Okay.
the same kind of a thing. If someone's
Yeah.
directing you, saying you must get a wire, either through a bank or through MoneyGram, Western Union,
Yes.
any of those services. Again, extreme caution because it's very difficult to retrieve that back or cancel it. Once you've approved that, you're on the hook. The bank's going to tell you it's not insured for theft or fraud if the bank's not robbed. That's for the bank's protection and protecting the customer from the bank's failure. But if you've authorized a transaction and you've sent your money away, that falls on you and you've lost that money.
Okay. We're going to move now to what I think is high tech. Tech enhancements, as well as I want to kind of go into a little bit about tech enhancements and then the new age, in my opinion, the AI, the artificial intelligence. So what would you like to tell us about these? I'm not quite sure, the tech enhancements, the robo-dialers.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times the criminal will use a telephone that's not a traditional phone line or even a cell phone anymore today. They use voice over internet protocol, which is a computer line that lets you make telephone calls, okay? So it's very difficult to trace its whereabouts. They can disguise and mask the location of that calling unit. It can be portable on a laptop. They can connect to free Wi-Fi someplace. There's so many variables as to where they are, but they can make it look as if they're right around the corner, right next door, a local call. And a lot of times they're not sitting there dialing each number. Their hands would fall off with the number of calls I get, right? I'm sure you and all our viewers are just tired of these phone calls.
Yes.
So they use a computer dialer, what we call robocallers. And those computers will just dial a sequence of numbers until it rings. Sometimes they have no clue where they're calling. Sometimes it's preset with the area code and prefix that they are targeting a community or an area. But a lot of times it's a random call number, and it's just going to dial, and they're waiting for someone to pick up, answer, and speak to them. And that's how you become a victim. If you don't know the person calling you, I suggest you not answer the phone.
And I've heard with the not only the number but the voice then they can choose bits and pieces of a voice they have recorded somewhere. So what we were informed, for example, is if there's a meeting that's being recorded, our commissioners meeting or something like that, they hear bits and pieces, they can pull that, and again, the voice can sound also like the individual that you may know.
Absolutely, and that's a type of spoofing. So spoofing is when you're pretending to have something that it's not what it appears to be, such as your caller ID. So they can put any name and phone number to display on your home phone or your smartphone, and it's going to look like the regular caller ID, and you're going to see that it says, Berks County Aging, perhaps, and you're going to think, oh, they're providing me some services. Well, it might not be aging on the phone because it's their name and phone number doesn't guarantee that's who's calling. And like you said, when we take it a step further and they record someone in an official capacity or even just your family member at a birthday party on social media or having a great time down the shore this summer. You hear, here's a quick video of the grandkids throwing the baseball. They got their voice. They have their face, their image. And deep fake audio and video are real. And they can create a text program, what we call a chat bot, that will actually record any written message in that person's voice, their tone, inflection, and pace of speech, that it will sound perfectly as if it's the person you know. And if they add the video to it and put the face on it, you're not going to know that's not who you're looking at.
Yeah, that's scary.
Very scary today.
We talked, then that's that. And then the artificial intelligence, more on that, is that, we just talked about the deep fakes.
Yes,
so,
but it can also, chatbots can also communicate. So I don't know if you've ever been on a website and you click in and say I was shopping for a used car not too long ago, and I went on a couple sites because I didn't want to drive around all the car lots. And right away in the corner, a little box comes up on some of the websites, and there's a nice photo of a nice woman or a gentleman with a headset. It says, "Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm here to help. Type your message here, your question." That's a chat bot. That's not Susan. There's not a real person there waiting to text
no
back.
one there to help me.
It's a computer. But they make you feel comfortable talking to it by showing you an image of a nice-looking woman, very professional, with the headset, and I'm here to help. it's preset messaging that's going to respond. And actually, the computer can read your question and pick the proper responses that apply as closely as possible. And today, it's even smarter than it was when they first started with these little chatbots. You can have a conversation, and it's going to have emotion. The computer will add things like, it doesn't feel great about that.
Wow. Okay.
Or, you know, and people say how they feel. Computers don't say how they feel. They do today.
Interesting. Well, the next, I don't know, we're going to move a little swiftly. Is there anything that before we want to tell everybody how to deal with this, should this happen, anything we want to talk about with any type of any more of the money transfers, the peer-to-peer? I think you covered a lot of that, right, in this?
Yeah, again, just be very careful. Know who you're sending it to. Make sure you have good security and software and a firewall in your system, and use very difficult passphrases, not just a password. Make it more difficult. And again, make sure your app is loaded from a trusted source, your app store in your phone.
Okay.
Don't just get a link. Again, here we go. We get a link. Oh, here's a free money financial app. If you don't know the person sending it to you to verify by phone call, did you just send me a link for a financial app? If you can't verify it, don't click it.
Okay. Okay. All righty. So now tell us, you're the Senior Protection Unit. Tell us what you do, and then also we'll have the slide to show them with the 2 minutes left what we do. What we do if this happens with any of those things. What can we do?
Well, we're here to provide information, resources, and guidance with the complaint system. So if you have a concern, a complaint, or a question, I want people to feel comfortable to contact me. You know, call the Senior Protection Unit at the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General. We're here to serve you. We're here to help you. You know, we cannot act as your individual attorney. It's not how it works. We're the people's attorney. But if we have enough complaints about the same problem, we can then act upon that. So we're here to give some information and resources to prevent folks from becoming a victim. And you know, to do that, we have our new scam squad in our Bureau of Consumer Protection.
Okay.
And the new scam squad is set up to take those special complaints about scams. So if you feel that you're being scammed, or that maybe you have lost money to a scam, don't despair, don't be embarrassed. I want people to feel comfortable to contact the office. We will take that complaint. It'll be handled seriously. It will be looked into. Letters will be written. An investigator will be assigned. And we're going to see what we can do to get you some money back. In some cases, we're successful doing that. A lot of cases we're not, just because of the nature of the crime and how long it takes for the reporting.
But I think if more call, then you have a better shot also with more folks. And the key is to call, right?
Exactly.
To call this 1-866-623-2137 phone number, or we have a website to review or an email address, that if you are in that circumstance or concerned about a friend, a neighbor, relative, or almost scammed, I think it's important to also report that.
Absolutely.
And do that, and we'll leave that up on the screen to make sure that people can have that and to share that information with others. A lot to cover, a lot to think about. Unfortunately, they're thinking twice as fast as I am.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
To make sure that we're all prepared, and really, we're only, you know, and it's increasing all the time. So please, folks, be aware that all of these scams are targeted, not necessarily just for seniors, but certainly a target audience. And so we're here to make sure that you're aware of this new scams and some of the repeat scams that are enhanced, I'll call it, and please make sure that you report it to the Senior Protection Unit at the Office of the Attorney General, and the phone number and information is on the screen. Thank you for tuning in to Aging Matters.